Hello there, Kevin from the Saber Factory, and today a new video guide about how to charge your lightsaber and how to troubleshoot some of the issues that you might have with your batteries. New setup. Shooting at the store was a little too difficult, given that when I'm at the store it's usually open to the public. So here at home it's going to be much easier to do a lot of videos, a lot of tutorials, a lot of guides to help you understand more about how the sabers work. So I hope you'll find this video, well, useful. You have different type of charging methods for your sabers. It depends on your lightsaber. Most of the dueling sabers, almost all dueling sabers, will have a visible charging port. This is either a DC port like this one, or it's a USB-C port. When you have that, it's pretty simple. Just take the appropriate cable and use a charger that's appropriate for your lightsaber. All lightsabers should be charged on the USB cable that's well, you can use any USB cable that you can find on the market, but what you cannot use is any USB plug. It's gotta correspond to what's written in the user manual, okay? So this is a 5 watts charger. If you go above that, so meaning what you could have with a tablet or any smartphone that has a fast charge, might go to 10, 15, 20 watts or more. Do not use that, guys. It's imperative that you follow the safety guides that's on our website and that's on your user manual, okay? So here I have, I'll show you, it's a simple, basic charger like the one that you have with your phone, and you can check on all of them. You can check the specs here. So here I can confirm that it's a 5 volt 1 amp, so this is perfect. We do recommend 5 volt 0.5 amp also, but 5 volt 1 amp is okay. It's not what's recommended, but it's okay. And I can now plug my saber. Charging. And as you can see on those lightsabers, you have a visible button, which is not the case with most character saber. Because of the design, we've hidden the button behind a control box, so a more design, more screen accurate button. So these do not light up, but they do give you the voice controls. Here it says charging, and then it will just keep on blinking like this until it's fully charged. One thing that we advise is always, when you unbox your saber, charge it for at least 3 to 4 hours. You may not have a full charge, so if you have issues with starting your saber, getting a proper ignition or whatnot, well, it may just be that the battery is not properly charged, so just charge it. For a couple to 3 hours, I think it's enough. One thing is, when these stop blinking, you have full charge. But then we'll see, when you can't see the light, it's going to be the voice command that tells you that the saber is charged. If you're not here to hear it, well, nothing will happen, basically. You can leave it plugged, nothing will happen. It's not going to overcharge, it's not going to burn or anything. But just know that it takes, depending on your battery capacity, it will take between 3 to 6 hours for full charge. So now I can take it out. This is DC1. This is pretty simple. Now we have sabers where it's not obvious at first, and it needs a little finding. Ahsoka, for instance, this is an old design because now we're starting to roll out. We are in November 2022, and we are going to roll out a new version that has another design where you need to do things differently. But here you only have to unscrew this, don't lose it, and you have the same charging port. Voice command again helps you understand what's happening. Simple as that, and then just screw it back in. I'm not going to screw it back because I'm going to show you on other versions or on the Shoto of this, you might have to unscrew the front plate. So we have different designs rolling out. So you might have a different one, and you need to just take this out and directly plug because the port might be somewhere else. But no biggie. It's not the only Saber where you're going to have to access the inside of your Tauntaun to get it charged. And that's the way it goes, because sometimes it's understandable that the factory wants to keep the design as close to what it is originally, and so they have to compromise given the components that they have and the way they design the electronics chassis. So sometimes you're going to have to do this, 30 seconds manipulation just to get your battery charged. On the Story Killer Saber, one of my favorites with the Kyber chamber open, you simply have to unscrew the grip. And here you have a battery that you need to take out and put in the battery charger that was delivered in your Saber case. Simply use a prier or use your multi-tool. Just make sure that you do not scratch the plastic wrap of the battery. Simply take it out and use the charger. On other Sabers, so I'm going to go back to this one later on other Sabers like Anakin. On the Anakin, it's going to be basically as easy. Unscrew the grip, and here you have directly a USB-C charging port, so it's the only thing that you have to do, and then you can charge it. Charging. So what you have is either you unscrew the pommel or the grip and you get access to the charging port, or you unscrew the grip and you don't necessarily have a charging port, but you have to take out the battery, or you have a port that's hidden underneath a button or a design element, whether it be the button or the entire faceplate. And dueling Sabers, it's visible. There's nothing too hard about it. Just plug it in and you can actually monitor the charge or the action, whatever is happening, and you can see it on the button if it's blinking or not. So these are basically the three things that the three different ways of accessing or charging your battery. Now let's have a look at battery issues. One of the most common battery issues that you can have is a contact plate that does not perform as it should. It's very simple and it's written in your usual manual. It's one of the first troubleshooting steps that we recommend that you do. Basically, take your Saber. So I'll move this aside. Take your Saber and pry the battery out, always making sure that you're not messing with the plastic wrap. And you will see that you have your negative plate and that you have your positive plate. The positive one is the one that you can pry out just, slightly, and you will see that you can, honestly, you can really go. And make sure that when you put the battery in, it is tight, like really tight, and you should have no issue. Power on. So that's a very easy thing to do. Some Sabers will require a little bit more work to get to the battery. I'm thinking of, Anakin. You can't take the battery out in the state. And Obi-Wan is one of the hardest. Also, you basically have to disassemble most of the Saber, and I'm just quickly going to show you how. So basically, take the plate out. unscrew this. It's going to show you one screw here. Just loosen it. And one here. Take this out. Now this will slide. This is what pushes the button, you know, to be flush with the chassis. So you need to take it out and push the chassis out. And when the button is down back in the chassis, you'll be able to slide the chassis out. And now you can take the chassis out, and now you have access to the battery, and you can check if the plate is tightened enough, and then you just have to put the chassis back in and just align the button. There it is. You'll see the alignment here with this hole, and then just do the same thing and in reverse. And there you have it. So while accessing the battery is not necessarily easy, same thing here with the Obi-Wan, you're going to realize that you have no access to it, and that even when you unscrew this part, you don't have access to it. Just be very careful with the Xenopixels. Do not bend those pins. Protect them at every cost. Here you have to manually unscrew this. Don't hesitate to use tape, you know, if you need to get a grip on it. Don't lose it. Same thing here. It might be a little hard at first. Don't hesitate to use, you know, some kind of a grip on it, and then this will, you know, allow you to free this part. Same thing here. You have to unscrew this. Take your time. You're not in a hurry. And now it slides out. Just same thing here. It will release the button. So this. Simple as that. Now you have access to your chassis, and you can check if your battery is sitting well in it, if the contact is okay, and then you can put it back. Just align the button just like this, and the long one is the one that pushes the button. So it's simple. There you go. So yeah, every lightsaber may have a different way of charging, may have a different way of accessing the battery if you have to troubleshoot it. But basically, this is pretty much the only thing that you would ever have to do with regards to maintenance of the battery of your lightsaber. Replacing the battery of lightsaber is one thing that you should know how to do, because it won't last forever. Basically, they have, it's hard to say, but given some of the feedback that we've seen on the internet, they may have between 200 to 300 cycles lifetime, but you can replace them for pretty cheap. Any electronics store will provide you with this type of batteries for $10-15. So you can replace them maybe after a year or two of using them, and it's very simple. It only takes a couple seconds for the simplest sabers, and it takes about 3-4 minutes for the most complex sabers. But I showed you basically some of the well, the most sought after sabers that we have, and the others may not be more complicated. So I hope that this is of help to you, and I will see you in the next video guide. May the force be with you guys.